I had a professor in college who told us, I want you all to know that I know you're doing the best you can every day. Some days your best may look like studying for 3 hours and getting a presentation done. And then some days your best may look like laying in bed for 5 hours with pasta sauce in your hair. And that's okay. Your best doesn't have to look the same every single day. But don't tell yourself, I didn't do enough today, I wasn't productive enough today, I wasn't smart enough today. No, none of that. You did the best that you could do today, and you should be proud of yourself for that. So we've made it to fall, or some may say autumn, if you're classier than me. Or British. Do British people say autumn? It's autumn. That was a little Scottish, wasn't it? Welcome to fall/autumn. So anyways, you know what the beginning of fall means. It means we have to clean, bake a seasonal cookie, and spend a whole paycheck on fall decor at Target. No, it actually means that we need to high five. Okay, because we've made it 9 months into the year, and it's been at least like 6 months since we last high fived. So we're due. So high five for making it to fall. You ready? 3, 2, 1. Okay, now I'm going to do it again in case the first time you were like, this is stupid, I'm not going to do that. I think you've had time to change your mind now. So ready? 3, 2, 1. Amazing. So we're 9 months into the year. You're 9 months into the year. And maybe you've already accomplished everything you set out to do at the beginning of the year. Or maybe you feel like you're lagging behind. Or maybe it's been the worst year ever and you can't wait for it to end. But no matter what it is, number one, I want you to know that I'm proud of you, which may mean nothing coming from a stranger on the internet, but I hope it means a little something. And then 2, I know you're doing your best. And so today we are going to set you up to be able to keep doing your best throughout the fall season. And that doesn't just mean cleaning or baking cookies or buying fall decorations. So you are welcome to do those things if they happen to bring you joy, like within reason. Don't spend like thousands of dollars on decorations. You can if you want, but I don't recommend it. But this reset is going to go a little bit deeper than that. At times it's going to go a bit shallower than that. Some parts will be mindless, some parts will make you think, but every part will involve the burning of a fall scented candle. Goose, are you ready to reset for fall? Are you ready to mentally and physically rejuvenate yourself? Do you feel like you've been doing your best every day? Really glad we had this talk. Okay, now we know I said this wasn't just going to be about decorations, but I do think a little autumnal spice throughout the home is good for setting a cozy ambiance. I also think just physically changing up your space a little bit is good for your mindset. But let me be clear, I'm not saying go to Target and buy every pumpkin-shaped chai spiced warm beige piece of decor they have. You might feel like you need to because this is the time of year where we start to see very elaborately decorated homes on the internet, but you actually don't need to spend a lot of money and amass a ton of things in order to make your home feel cozy. Now, before we get any further, I'm sure you're like, wow, Morgan, look at those leaves behind you. Clearly you've decorated in preparation for this video. How proactive of you. Incorrect. This is quite literally the only piece of fall decorations that I have access to right now because I thought that all of our fall decor was in my office closet, but turns out it was just that and the rest of it is in our storage locker. And that's an issue because we can't get into our storage locker right now. And that is because we dropped our keys down the elevator shaft. And by we, I mean David did, not me. But our building won't get the keys out of the elevator shaft because apparently you need magical elevator shaft people in order to access the elevator shaft. And I feel like I'm saying the word shaft more than I've ever said it in my whole life right now. And apparently in order to get the magical elevator shaft people to come to the building, you have to pay $200 to $300. And because they would be coming to get our keys, we would have to pay the $200 to $300. Alternatively, we could wait until the elevator breaks and then the building would pay the $200 to $300 because they'd be coming to fix the building elevator, which the building owns. We don't own that, we own the keys. We were like, that's cool, the elevator breaks every other month. We'll just wait. And guess how long it's been now since the elevator is broken? At least 4 months. Because I guess apparently our keys were the key, no pun intended, to it working properly for an extended period of time. So anyways, our keys are at the bottom of an elevator shaft, and so I know what you're thinking, Morgan, how are we gonna get your decorations then? This is a life or death matter. We're gonna gangster our way in there. This obviously isn't a traditional part of the reset. I just thought maybe it'll be fun to do together, and then I'll finish sharing the rest of my budget-friendly, space-friendly decoration tips. And if you don't wanna come, you can skip this part. Or you can leave, because apparently you're not fun. Welcome to our storage room. Isn't the lighting great? Super flattering. I'm whispering because I don't want people to hear me talking to myself in the storage room. Here we go. Morgan's first time using bolt cutters. It's fun to have this documented, right? No, okay, that's not doing anything. I assume I'm doing it right. Oh my god. That's it. That's all it's done. We're gonna keep trying. Probably not good to put my head in there. What if? I fear this is doing nothing. It's the best physics-wise. No, that's worse. I use the whole body. Why did our landlord just get a combination lock? Oh my god, I'm gonna be so sweaty. I think we're almost there. I did it. I win. If anyone ever makes fun of me for not being strong again, I'm gonna show them this video. Look out, world, because I can break into moderately sized locks. So I'm not gonna become a burglar or a petty thief, to be clear. All right, had to do a bit of an outfit change because there's no ventilation in that storage room, and I wanted to be cute and cozy for this video, but it backfired, and now I tried to keep it autumnal. This is orange, but gotta air everything out. Anyways, so when I first got my own place like 6 years ago, I did panic buy most of these decorations. A lot of them are cheap, a lot of them are from Amazon, a lot of them I regret. But instead of getting rid of it all and replacing it with something else, I've just tried to thrift some things to kind of elevate the rest of it. But if I could go back in time and redo this is what I would tell my younger self. And it's also what I'm gonna tell you now. So first thing would be that thrift stores have a lot of seasonal decor. Go there first before you go to Target. And don't look at just the seasonal section while you're there, look at the whole store, because thrift stores have a ton of brown things, and you know what's associated with brown besides brownies and poop? Autumn. So don't just be like, oh, they don't have any leaves here, guess we're not gonna find anything good for fall in this thrift store. You gotta just look for things that exude fallness, things that are rustic, cozy, things that look like they should be in a cabin. Next, I would say get crafty. There are so many easy, fun fall crafts that make great decorations, and they also make a great craft night, so you can have decorations and memories. So I'll link some craft ideas in the description below if you want some. If you're not a crafter, that's fine. I respect that. I feel like I'm really hunching over to fit myself in this frame. That's better for my posture. Okay, next thing I would say is switch up what is already in your home. So like if you have a bookshelf, make your autumnally colored books more prominent. Or like if you have a bookshelf in your office, maybe take some of the red or brown or beige books, bring them out to your coffee table. I personally like to switch out my records to match the colors of the season. So sorry 1989 Taylor, but you are getting replaced with Stevie Wonder. It's just such an easy, cheap way to switch up the mood with what you already have. Also the photos on your refrigerator, on your walls, switch those up to be photos from autumn last year or from like childhood, because that's very nostalgic and cozy. Next tip would be to embrace florals. They can be real or fake. Again, thrift stores have a lot of fake flowers. Also secondhand craft stores. If you're in Chicago, there's one called the Waste Shed, and they have tons of really nice looking fake foliage, flowers, leaves, etc. That's what foliage is, right? So maybe see if there's something like that in your area. Sorry, I just scraped candle wax off this thing and now it's stuck under my nail. Oh god, my nail is literally bleeding. And then finally, I would say that it is not normal to buy new decorations every year. If that is in fact your vibe and you just love decorating and you buy a couple new things every year and reuse things over and over again, then like fine, that's cool. But just don't feel like you need to. Don't feel like that's the only way to make your home cozy, because it's not. Okay, Okay, our body temperature has returned to normal state. We have our cozy fall sweatshirt back on. And it's time to plan our morning menu for fall. This is not a beer, this is tea. Bubbly, carbonated tea. So I say morning menu instead of routine because I don't really subscribe to the idea of a morning routine because I'm cool and edgy and different. No, it doesn't work for me. Like I just struggle to stick to a routine and then I get really upset with myself when I don't stick to it and then I go down into a deep, dark, watering hole of depression. So I do a menu instead because menus have options and that way I can just switch up my morning routine based on how I'm feeling when I wake up. So whatever, if you call it a routine, if you call it a menu, if you call it a bibbly bop boop, whatever it is, it should change with the season because autumn you doesn't want to do what summer you does. You know, summer you is happy, she's full of life, she's bubbly, she's tan, she shaves her legs every day. Autumn you is a little darker, a little moodier, she's definitely paler, she wears a lot more sweaters, a lot more layers, it's harder to move around. So you should adjust your morning menu to reflect that. Very quickly, I just want to say that if you love autumn and you feel like you come alive during autumn, that's cool too. Like maybe you come alive in winter, maybe you come alive in spring, maybe summer you is depressed. Like that's fine. It's not fine. I don't want you to ever be depressed. But like just my point is adjust your morning routine with the season. So if you come alive in fall, maybe you do more of the things in fall. Hopefully that makes sense. And now you can put whatever you want on your morning menu. Just think about what autumn you would like to do. So for me, I have 4 constants. I drink tea, I eat breakfast, I wash my face, I brush my teeth. But then I also have my menu, and these are the things I pick from every morning. So I've got heavy exercise. This is gonna be a 40+ minute workout, usually weightlifting. And I know that in the fall and winter, I will do this less because it's darker out in the morning. I'm less enthusiastic about waking up. In the summer, it's lighter. It's easier to wake up early, to fit in a longer workout, not shivering for my life, trying to change from my PJs into my workout clothes. I think I would be a lot more inclined to do things if I just never got cold. It's a real barrier for me. But so in the summer, I'll do more heavy workouts, like 2 to 3 per week, because I know I'm gonna be in the mood to do that more. And also, you've got the motivation. Like, I want my legs to look good in my shorts. In the fall and winter, you can't really see my legs. They're underneath pants, usually of the sweat variety. So, you know, I could do the workouts just because I care about my health, but apparently I'm more vain than that. And then we have light exercise, which is going to be like a 20-minute workout, living room Pilates, incline walking. I like to call them lazy girl workouts because they're hard enough that it feels like I did something, but they're not so hard that I get super anxious about doing them and then end up not doing them because I'm stuck in a state of anxiety paralysis thinking about doing them, if that makes sense. So usually in the summer I do less of those because I have more time and energy for the heavy workouts, but in the fall and winter I reverse it. That way I'm still getting an exercise, but it's exercise that's good for my mood and motivation level in those seasons. Next menu item is going for a walk with Goose. This I actually usually do every day, but on days where I do heavy workouts, I don't. That's why it's not a constant. Even if I didn't have a dog, I would still put getting outside on my morning menu. I think it really does help my mood to like get out and breathe some sort of fresh air, even if it's like freezing or rainy. I still think it's good, and I'll complain about it the whole time. And then we have showering, and yes, that is optional. If I work out, I'll shower. But if I don't, if I wake up and I'm feeling extra sleepy, want to get an extra 30 minutes of snoozing in, I'll be like, okay, I just won't shower until this evening. And I'll give myself permission to be a potato for the day. Assuming that I can be a potato, like I don't have meetings and stuff. Sometimes that gets in the way of the potatoing, but for the most part, if I can potato and I want a potato, I potato. And finally, I have my sub menu of tea drinking activities, which are activities I do while I'm drinking my tea in the morning. And that includes scrolling on social media, which yes, this is an option. If I want to scroll, I scroll. If I don't want to scroll, I don't scroll. I don't get mad at myself for scrolling, usually. Sometimes. We're working on it. Reading the news is also another option. I subscribe to this newsletter called The Morning Brew, and they just like email you a summary of the news every day. So that's a nice way to start the day and just like feel informed. And third option is a crossword puzzle. There's online shopping, which usually I just browse Depop to see if there's anything I've been looking for on there. And then also browsing Pinterest, usually for recipes, because normally we just make the same recipes over and over again, but sometimes it's nice to try something new. So in the mornings, that's just like a good time for me to browse and see if there's anything that looks like it could be delicious. And then finally, read a book. Gonna be honest, usually I don't do this one, but on mornings where I wake up feeling especially anxious, I'll try to force myself to read instead of looking at a screen. It just kind of helps me remove myself from the world. So if I'm really feeling like I need an alternate reality, I'll start my morning with that. But yeah, so that's my morning menu, and I will adjust what I do based on how I feel each morning. But I think the biggest takeaway, regardless of how you structure your morning menu or routine or bibbly bop boop, whatever I said earlier. Regardless of how you structure it, just don't expect fall you to do what summer you has been doing, because then I think you're just setting yourself up to be sad. So I love a cliche fall activity, but I also love procrastinating. And by love, I mean hate, but my brain forces me to do it always. And one thing my brain really loves to procrastinate on is being the one to suggest plans, because I have a deeply rooted fear that people do not want to hang out with me and will either reject me or cancel on me. But at the same time, I also have deeply rooted FOMO. And so if the fall season passes without me doing a basic autumnal craft while Evermore plays in the background, red wine slides down my gullet, and me and the girls do a 3-hour debrief on our lives before ending the night with a blurry karaoke session that no one can remember the impetus of, I will be upset. So pick one thing you really want to do this fall: a pumpkin patch, an apple orchard, a craft night, a pie making competition, whatever it is, and just send a text and get it on the calendar. That way you have it on the schedule before everybody's calendar fills up, and then also you have something to look forward to, and you're not rushing to plan something on like October 28th. Who's your cutest boy in the entire world? Get him sleeping. Little sleepy croissant. Okay, I know there's nothing bitches love more in the month of October than a fall spiced drink in a seasonally appropriate cup. And yes, you do deserve to buy it out every once in a while as a little sweet treat, because you're a little sweet treat. That was weird. So sorry about that. But just speaking on behalf of your wallet, you don't need to do that daily, okay? This is 2024. We've brought back low-rise jeans. We survived a worldwide Microsoft outage. We made hip-hop rap superstar Snoop Dogg the star of the Olympics, the sports Olympics. Okay, we can make artisanal fall drinks at home. So I'm making a vanilla syrup to put in my chai lattes, because I'm not really a coffee person. But you could also make a pumpkin syrup. You could make a fall spice syrup to like put in your coffee so it tastes kind of like chai, but then also like coffee. There's a lot of different fall syrups, okay, just look it up. They are legitimately so easy to make. It's basically just combining some sugar and water into a pan and then putting the flavor in that you want. And if you're a frequent special drink getter, this will end up saving you a lot of money. And let's be honest, it's kind of satisfying to make it yourself. So for me, a very important part of my fall reset is to try on all of my fall clothing. Maybe not all of it, but most of it. But I do this because with new seasons comes new outfit videos popping up on TikTok of really pretty girls wearing really pretty outfits that make me want to wear the really pretty outfits so that I in fact feel pretty and not inferior. In the past, my incessant need to compare myself to people on the internet has caused me to panic buy clothing, most of which I don't even end up liking. So now, instead of doing that, each season I try on all of my clothing for the season to remember what I have so I don't accidentally buy things that are similar, and to better understand what my personal style is so that I can create a targeted wish list of things that I want for the season, instead of just buying a bunch of random pieces that catch my eye but don't really fit into my wardrobe or fit together. So I actually did a whole video last fall specifically on just a wardrobe reset. So if you want to see more about that process, make sure to check out that video, which is code for finish watching this video first and then go watch that video, because I need you to love me. But basically what I'm going to do is take out all of my fall clothing out of my closet out of storage and just try it all on. Have a little try on day, turn on some music, figure out what outfits I still like, and then also figure out what pieces I feel like I'm missing. Like if I keep putting on outfits and thinking, oh, I wish I had this shoe, or I wish I had this sweater to go with this, that's something I would probably add to the list. I also do like to make a mood board on Pinterest each season to give me some inspo for outfits, and again, try to keep my outfit ideas cohesive so that I have a lot of things that can mix and match. But yeah, once I've finished trying everything on and I figured out what I like, what I don't like, what I'm missing, I'll make a little wish list and then I'll try to find those things secondhand. If after a few weeks I can't find them secondhand and I still find myself constantly thinking about them when I'm getting dressed, like, oh, this shoe would look great with this outfit, and I think that like 7 times out of 15 days, that's like almost half. That seems like a lot. If I'm thinking that frequently, then I'm like, okay, this is something that I really want and would use. And so if I can't find it secondhand, then I'll start looking for it new. But I always like to try to do secondhand first because the environment. And this is also a good time if you have clothes that you don't like anymore, that you feel like you aren't gonna wear, things that might need to be repaired. This would be a good time to either take them to get repaired or find them a new home if you don't want them anymore. But yeah, the changing of the seasons is a good time to just revisit your closet and very thoughtfully figure out what you want to add to it instead of just panic buying trendy things. In the long run, you'll end up with the wardrobe that you actually really love instead of something you're rushing to switch up every single year. Fun thing about the sun shining in right here and onto my face is that I look beautiful, but the sucky thing is that I'm probably burning my retinas. So I didn't really become a fiction reader up until last year. Before that, I had really just read self-help books and like nonfiction books because I didn't see the point in reading if I wasn't learning. And I've discovered that that's because I'm an anxious perfectionist overachiever who has probably taken years off of her life trying to be the best at every single thing she's ever done. Hi, Goose. Okay. So we're gonna sit right here. You know what? Who am I to tell you what to do other than your human owner who feeds you, takes you to the bathroom, bathes you, and loves you every minute of every day. Okay, bye. But so then one of my friends loaned me a fiction book like a year ago and I read it in one day. And I was like, wow, this is actually kind of fun. Reading and imagining things and escaping reality. Have other people heard about this? Do we need to tell them? So now I have a library card and I read like 1 to 2 books a month, which I realize doesn't sound like a lot, but considering I didn't used to read at all, it kind of is a lot. And then what I like to do now is have seasonal books. So like for fall and winter, I want like cozy books, maybe like a little mystery, maybe like a little romantic comedy, but in like a cabin or a little village. So I'll put together a little list of books that sound fun to read to me during the fall. Not read to me, like they sound fun to me to read to myself. You get what I'm saying. And I haven't made it yet, and I'm not gonna make it right now, but future Morgan will make it, and she will put B-roll of the books that she has put on the list. And for context, I tend to like mysteries, thrillers, rom-coms. I can do like a light fantasy, like nothing crazy, like maybe a little time travel or something like that, an alternate future, but like not like aliens is kind of like a no for me. I don't like Game of Thrones, if that says anything about my interest in fantasy or sci-fi. Game of Thrones isn't sci-fi. Was I talking about sci-fi or fantasy? Anyways, if you like some of the genres I like, you might like some of the books that I'm gonna put again in the B-roll for you to see and judge for yourself. And so in summary, I think it's nice to have a fall reading list because it gives me books to look forward to, books to look out for at the library, and so I don't become overwhelmed with options, which is a thing that happens to me a lot. So yeah, maybe try it out for yourself too if you want, or don't. It's a very optional part of the reset. All right, moving on. I might have a headache now from the sun. Not really sure. Okay, and then for the final part of my reset, I like to commemorate the end of summer by scrapbook journaling all my favorite memories. And then I like to make my fall bucket list as a way to be like, hey, fall, welcome. I'm not at all scared of the dropping temperatures or darkness that you bring. So you can commemorate summer however you want. It can be as simple as an Instagram post with all your favorite pictures. It could be scrapbook journaling. It could be regular scrapbooking. It could be putting photos in a photo album. It could be just regular journaling. Really, like whatever you want. But just something to wrap up summer in a bow and send it off into your memory bank. And then once I'm done with that, I will make my fall bucket list, which I like to do that instead of setting formal goals because because one, bucket list sounds more fun than goal setting. And also I can just put everything I want to do on the list, but if I don't do it all, that's okay. Whereas if I called it goals and I didn't accomplish everything, I would feel a little bit sad. But if I don't do everything on the bucket list, it's like, well, you know, there's always next fall, God willing. Knock on wood. And I'm gonna need to wrap this up now because I drank all that chai tea on an empty stomach and I can feel the caffeine coursing its way through my veins and into my head. And I know you're like, Morgan, it's just tea, it's not that bad, it's not coffee. I know. I'm a lightweight, a very lightweight when it comes to caffeine. It's one of my few flaws. But before I go hydrate and soak up the caffeine with food, is that how it works? Is it like the same philosophy as alcohol? That philosophy isn't even true, isn't it? It's a myth, right? No? Anyways, thanks for watching this video. I hope that it got you kind of excited for fall. If you weren't already excited, if you were excited, I hope it got you more excited. I hope that these tips can help you feel like you kind of have your life together going into the new season and actually help you feel properly resetted. Properly reset. Help you feel properly reset. I hope they help you feel good about yourself. All right, so give this video a thumbs up if you liked it and make sure to subscribe for more videos like this and also different than this. And happy fall. Or autumn. It's still kind of Scottish, isn't it?